Kargil War's 25th anniversary. A day to remember heroes. Heroic tales of untold grit. Prime Minister pays tribute to India's heroes.
जब मैं उस जगह से बोल रहा हूं जहां आतंक के आकाओं को मेरी आवाज सीधे सुनाई पड़ रही है.
Prime Minister's big warning to Pakistan from Kargil. The battles, the heroes, the memories. Unforgettable Kargil. Gaurav Sawant reports from Kargil.
Hello and welcome to an India Today special broadcast that comes to you from the Kargil War Memorial in Dras. I'm Gaurav Sawant. As the nation celebrates 25 years of India's spectacular victory over Pakistan on the Kargil heights 25 years ago, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the Kargil War Memorial here in Dras, and the Prime Minister launched a multi-pronged offensive. One attack was on Pakistan across the line of control, a verbal attack on Pakistan's state-sponsored radical Islamist terror. The second attack was closer home at the opposition within the country and on the contentious issue of the Agnipath scheme or Agniveers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was addressing a select gathering of the braves who are defending this motherland from Pakistan's state-sponsored terror and of course also at the line of actual control between India and Tibet. And here at the Kargil War Memorial at Dras, the Prime Minister accused the opposition of misleading the country on a reform called the Agnipath. There were some critical points made by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. One, he said that this was a reform that was debated and discussed for a very long time and was a demand of the armed forces. Two, he said that the armed forces were seeking a younger profile for their combat soldiers, and the profile of combat soldiers in India was older than combat soldiers in different parts of the world, and that is why this is a reform. He hit out at the opposition for claiming that to bring down the pension bill, the army had come up with the Agniveer scheme. He said these are those people who did not buy modern aircraft for the Indian Air Force. He accused the opposition, one, of corruption, two, of misleading the country, misleading the youth on a reform like the Agnipath scheme. Listening to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he chose Kargil War Memorial Dras to launch a swift counter-attack on the opposition, because this has been a long onslaught from the opposition on the Agnipath scheme, will remain a contentious issue in the run-up to elections in crucial states, including in Haryana. Listen in to the Prime Minister's defense of the Agnipath scheme.
Agniveer showdown hits top gear. Amid demands from the opposition and some NDA allies for review of the Agnipath scheme, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in his Kargil Vijay Divas address, defended the military recruitment policy. At an event to mark the 25th anniversary of the Kargil War victory, Prime Minister Modi launched a strong counter-attack at opposition parties, accusing them of politicizing the scheme designed to modernize and rejuvenate the armed forces.
सेना द्वारा किए गए जरूरी रिफॉर्म्स का एक उदाहरण अग्निपथ स्कीम भी है. दशकों तक संसद से लेकर अनेक कमेटी तक में सेनाओं को युवा बनाने पर चर्चाएं होती रही है. भारत के सैनिकों की औसत आयु, एवरेज एज, ग्लोबल एवरेज से ज्यादा होना, ये हम सबकी चिंता बढ़ाता रहा है.
Modi's remarks indicate his government is standing firm on the Agnipath scheme despite election reverses.
अग्निपथ का लक्ष्य सेनाओं को युवा बनाना है। अग्निपथ का लक्ष्य सेनाओं को युद्ध के लिए निरंतर योग्य बनाए रखना है। दुर्भाग्य से राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा से जुड़े इतने संवेदनशील विषय को कुछ लोगों ने राजनीति का विषय बना दिया है। कुछ लोग सेना के इस रिफॉर्म पर भी अपने व्यक्तिगत स्वार्थ में झूठ की राजनीति कर रहे हैं।
The Prime Minister dismissed claims that it was intended to cut pension costs.
मैं तो हैरान हूं, कुछ लोगों की समझ को क्या हुआ है, उनकी सोच को क्या हो चुका है। ऐसा भ्रम फैला रहे हैं कि सरकार पेंशन के पैसे बचाने के लिए ये योजना लेकर आई है। मैं जरा ऐसे लोगों की सोच से शर्म आती है, लेकिन मैं ऐसे लोगों से पूछना चाहता हूं, जरा कोई मुझे बताए, आज मोदी के शासनकाल में जो भर्ती होगा, क्या आज ही उसको पेंशन देना है क्या? उसको पेंशन देने की नौबत 30 साल के बाद आएगी।
Opposition parties hit back, alleging the government is misleading the youth.
Because of the financial mismanagement, the army is not able to recruit people fully and give them the full benefits of a commission in the army. In order to circumvent that, they want to outsource and take people on a temporary basis. So they are not saddled with the full benefits which they need to offer a soldier if he is going to be fully commissioned.
ये तो हमारी सेना का घोर अपमान है। और आज कारगिल युद्ध के विजय दिवस पर प्रधानमंत्री जी अगर ये बोल रहे हैं, तो मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी से पूछना चाहता हूं कि प्रधानमंत्री जी, कारगिल युद्ध में शामिल होने वाले हमारे जो सैनिक थे, हमारे जो उस समय के सेना के अधिकारी थे, जिन्होंने अपने प्राणों की आहुति देकर भारत माता की रक्षा की, वो वीर नहीं थे, बहादुर नहीं थे, युवा नहीं थे। आपने तो भारत की सेना को कमजोर किया।
अग्निवीर से पूछिए ना, यूथ से पूछिए, मतलब कमाल है। प्रधानमंत्री जी को अभी भी 240 के लाले पड़ने के बाद भी मैसेज नहीं जा रहा है ना, जाएगा भी कैसे? भैंस, मंगलसूत्र, मुजरा, टोटी काट लेगा, बिजली काट देगा।
With elections scheduled in states like Haryana, the Agniveer Rao is set to become a flashpoint between the opposition and the government. Bureau Report, India Today.
At the Kargil War Memorial in Dras on the 25th anniversary of India's spectacular victory over Pakistan, the Prime Minister also did not mince his words when he attacked Pakistan, a state sponsor of terror. The Prime Minister reminded the nation how Pakistan has repeatedly stabbed India in the back. Even in February 1999, the then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee had travelled to Lahore with a hand of friendship, hope of a brighter future. But when the Indian bus carrying the Indian Prime Minister and diplomats and leaders and civil society members was going to Pakistan with extending a hand of friendship, exactly at the same time, the Pakistan army was intruding on these heights. And more than 500 braves of the Indian army had to make the supreme sacrifice of their lives to regain these peaks from Pakistani soldiers who were well entrenched along 150 kilometers from Kaubal Gali to Turtuk in Ladakh. The Prime Minister hit out at Pakistan. His warning was fierce, not just reminding Pakistan it had lost every war to India, it had lost on terror, but even the current spate of attacks, there will be a befitting response. Pakistan ko muhtod jawab diya jayega, or words to that effect is what Prime Minister Narendra Modi said. Listen in.
मैं आतंकवाद के इन सरपरस्तों को कहना चाहता हूं कि उनके नापाक मंसूबे कभी कामयाब नहीं होंगे।
On the day of Vijay Diwas, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's stern warning to Pakistan from Kargil, calling Pakistan the master of terror. Prime Minister Modi roared against the rising attacks in Jammu.
असत्य और आतंक की हार हुई। पाकिस्तान ने अतीत में जितने भी दुष्प्रयास किए उसे मुंह की खानी पड़ी।
Modi also asserted whether in Ladakh or Jammu and Kashmir, Indian forces will crush terror.
आतंकवाद को हमारे जाबाज पूरी ताकत से कुचलेंगे। दुश्मन को मुंहतोड़ जवाब दिया जाएगा।
Prime Minister Modi paid a visit to the Kargil War Memorial in Ladakh's Dras to commemorate the 25th anniversary of Kargil Vijay Diwas, the day that marks India's victory over Pakistan in the 1999 war. He laid a floral wreath at the war memorial, where names of the braves are etched, paying tributes to the Kargil war heroes who made the supreme sacrifice in the line of duty for the nation.
कारगिल विजय दिवस हमें बताता है कि राष्ट्र के लिए दिए गए बलिदान अमर होते हैं।
25 years ago, on this day, Indian troops evicted the last of the Pakistani infiltrators out of our territory after a war that lasted 50 days. With Gaurav Sawant in Kargil, Bureau Report, India Today.
Politics aside, what is it that those in uniform and those who once donned the uniform feel about what Prime Minister Narendra Modi said? It's not just what he said, where he said it, and how he said it. I put this question to General Ved Prakash Malik, former Chief of Army Staff. He was the chief when India defeated Pakistan in Kargil. I also put this question to now Brigadier Kushal Thakur, a service veteran who commanded 18 grenadiers during the Tiger Hill and Tololing operations. Listen in to their reactions. Sir, what do you make of the Prime Minister's message to Pakistan and from here?
You know, somebody asked me, this is the right place, our Karm Bhumi, and this is the right event, and this is the right occasion. And I thought his message was very clear, and I hope that message has reached home where it is meant to be.
And these are not empty words. I mean, you've seen, whether it was the surgical strike after Uri or Balakot after Pulwama. What do you make of the Prime Minister's messaging and the tone and tenor?
Look, there is a certain shift in our political strategy. There is no doubt about it. I've been in service for so many years earlier. And in the last 10 years or so, we have seen how we have reacted to any situation on the borders or anywhere. Whether it was Balakot or it was surgical strike or sometime something happened in the Myanmar border also, as you know. So it's a good thing, and that shift in the strategy that has taken place, in my view, personal view as a soldier, I think is the right thing.
And the Shinkundla tunnel, would that be a game changer for Ladakh? Is that something that you needed for a long time?
Indeed, we needed it for a long time, you know, and the whole process of our logistics in this area and our strengthening of the troops, etc., that whole thing will change once it comes through. Not only that, I hope that our work on the Zojila tunnel also is hastened, and because these two tunnels will create a different environment for us to fight in this area, whether it is along the LSC or LOC, anywhere.
किस रूप में आप देखते हैं प्रधानमंत्री ने जो कहा?
नहीं, प्रधानमंत्री जी आप देखिए आज आए, उन्होंने श्रद्धा सुमन हमारे शहीदों को दिए और साथ में बड़ा क्लियर मैसेज पाकिस्तान को दिया कि जो ये आतंकवाद की जो प्रॉक्सी युद्ध है उसे किसी भी हालात में जो है वो टॉलरेट नहीं किया जाएगा और इसका जो है जवाब जो है जरूर दिया जाएगा।
This is that unparalleled valor of the Indian Army braves. Imagine two instances. One, Brigadier B.M. Karyappa of the Special Forces, and the other, Colonel Sachin Nimbalkar of the Grenadiers. Infantry officers who are calling for an RT attack and the force attack on themselves so that the enemy could be neutralized and they will somehow survive and then occupy the peaks, take over the peaks and dislodge the occupiers. That was the valor of the braves in Kargil, which I'm privileged to have witnessed firsthand. Let me also now get you the tale of valor of then Flight Lieutenant Nachiketa, a flying pilot, a MiG-27 fighter pilot. In the initial days of the battle, 27th of May to be precise, in 1999, he flew in his MiG-27 fighter and he fired rockets at Pakistani locations in Manto Dhalo. But as he pulled up from the dive, his engine flamed out. He had to bail out and he was taken prisoner of war by Pakistan. Listen in to his story. Explain to us why this entire complex was so critical and how did 8SIG go about it in brief, sir?
Okay, when you look at the Tiger Hill complex, it's a big range, you can say. It's got multiple sub features in it. It's got Tiger Hill top, it's got India Gate, it's got helmet, and there is a cliff.
And
All that Pariyon Ka Talab on the other side, and it is a very dominating feature. It had got both. At that time, the tactical importance as well as it had the strategic importance. Strategic because it was dominating the national highway.
Yes.
Tactical because when we, along with Nimbalkar, went in for the operations, they had gone for the assault initially. But what was happening? They were getting the replenishment from India Gate and helmet. So whenever the replenishment used to come, so they were trying to delay the attack which has been launched by the 18 Grenadiers. At that time, then 8SIG, which was the reserve battalion, was nominated to take the Ghataks. Ghatak means they are like commandos of the infantry battalion.
Yes.
They are the most physically fit and the best lot of soldiers available in the battalion are selected lot. They were selected and then I was made as their team leader and then we went up to capture India Gate and helmet. While we were going up, it was a really a very, very steep climb and since the feature was very important, he was guarding it quite well. We went up, we captured, we fired at their bunkers and we shot them, killed them. But what happened when we were in the operation, these chaps, they started running towards the rocky cliff, towards the other side. And we were able to capture this feature. This feature we were able to capture early morning at about 6 o'clock or so. What happened? Then I got a call on radio from the commander. He said that we are likely to have a counterattack because the enemy wants to evict you from there so that he can continue dominating the Tiger Hill. So there were 3 counterattacks launched onto us. The first counterattack, he came and he was almost able to capture helmet. However, we were able to install him at the helmet.
Okay.
Thereafter, we again went in for the attack and we threw him out of helmet and he went back again. Second time, again he came back.
And this actually shows कि वो गुत्थम गुत्था की लड़ाई उस समय counter attack in Pakistan apparently launched about 7 or 8 counter attacks for Tiger Hill.
Yeah.
And because I want to now also quickly bring in Colonel Sachin Nimbalkar into this conversation. And Colonel Nimbalkar, the operations that were undertaken by 18 Grenadiers, you and Colonel Balwant Singh, the Ghataks, Yogendra Yadav, who got a Paramveer Chakra, explain your tasking. And you were a young captain, if I remember correctly, in that operation.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Gaurav. And I will wish all the citizens of our country on the historic Kargil Rajat Jayanti Day. As you know, 25 years back, this all important task of capturing Tiger Hill was given to my battalion, along with 8SIG, which had already encircled almost 3 sides of Tiger Hill. The 4th side, that is the western side, which was still open for the intruders. The plan for us was very simple, is to capture Tiger Hill, come what may. And especially for my battalion, it was so imperative to capture Tiger Hill because we had suffered quite a bit of casualties, quite a bit of losses during the Battle of Toluling, which included our beloved and idealized second in command Lieutenant Colonel R. Vishnathan and Major Rajesh Singh Adhikari. So this was more of a, you can say, apart from the military tasking, it was a very emotional and psychological tasking as far as we in 18 Grenadiers are concerned. From the northeastern side, the Ghataks were launched. Northeastern side is actually coming from the, you can say, side of Pariyonka Talab. And my company, Delta Company, was launched from the eastern side, which were both the directions which were unexpected by the enemy. And it so happened on 4th of July, we actually managed to surprise the enemy. And he was taken totally by surprise. We managed to establish a foothold. But then that is when the story of counterattack started. That is when the ferocious counterattack was launched by the enemy. And in that point of time, split second appears to be ours and ours, because I had to make this decision in split second to ask for Bofors fire, because their counterattack probably, if the Bofors had not supported us during that point of time, probably we would have lost much more.
Brigadier Amar Aul, sir, it was a privilege to see you in operations at that point of time, but what was the most difficult operation for you? This was a war that we were seeing on the roadhead here. You were seeing it all the way till the LC.
Yeah, I came with my brigade with 2 battalions from the valley to Dras on 13th of May. And 1 battalion was taken away from me for some subsequent operations. So I had just 1 battalion left with about 5 fire units. And my boys were not acclimatized. It took me about 6 to 7 days to acclimatize them. And thereafter, I was told to capture Toluling at the earliest.
Yes.
With just 1 battalion and no ATs, no animal transport, no porters, we took this task on, and we were able to clear the ridge lines leading to the Toluling top by the end of May. And this was a great thing by 18 Grenadiers. We lost a couple of officers like Ravinder Nath, 2IC, Adhikari. It was very difficult times. We did not have fire support. We did not have enough troops. We did not have animal transport, and we were throughout shelling the 60 days that I was here.
Explain to our viewers, and for the benefit of our young viewers, I must tell you, he's that war hero who was flying a mission. He was flying his MiG-27 in Batalik. They fired their rockets at enemy location, but as he was coming out of that dive, there was your engine flamed out. Your engine, in a way, caught fire. What happened? Tell our viewers that, sir.
So we had got airborne from Srinagar base, west of this place, towards Batalik, which is behind these hills on the right side. We had targets called Muntodala, which is a huge logistics setup of the enemy. So we were at 4 aircraft MiG-27 formation. Self and my leader, Mandokot, were flying the second formation, carrying rockets. After firing the rockets, on the process of easing out of the dive, I had engine failure. Now MiG-27 is a single engine aeroplane, and we either start the engines or we eject. So I took the decision of starting the engines, but I ran out of height because, as you can see, these are very high altitudes, almost 12 to 15,000 feet. We require a lot of height for the engine to start up. So I took a call of ejecting. I informed my leader and I ejected, and that is how I landed as on the ground from the comfort of a cockpit.
So from the comfort of the cockpit into IC Batalik, that part of the area which was then in enemy control, in Pakistani control, you were taken prisoner by the Pakistanis, but you went down fighting. I believe you discharged your weapon.
Yeah, so we carry a small Makarov pistol which carries 8 rounds. So I had a small exchange of fire with the enemy soldiers who were firing AKs at me. But after I finished my rounds and they captured me, they were trying to maybe hit me and kill me. But I was very fortunate again that their army captain was slightly behind them. He came up to them and he was able to stop them. So they tried to tell them that he was firing rockets in the air and he was trying to fire guns at us. But that guy said he was doing his duty as a soldier. Now he's a captive. Let's give him the position which he deserves. So I have a lot of respect for that captain who was able to manage the men and not to complete my chapter there.
You heard of tales of valor of our braves. Let me now get you some accounts of the next of kin of our braves. We all know the story of Captain Vikram Batra, who won a Paramveer Chakra posthumous for 2 operations, 5140 here in Dras and then .4875, then rechristened as Batra Top. That's where he was killed in action. His twin brother, Vishal Batra, who's a banker incidentally, he came to Kargil and he climbed to 0.5140 because on Vikram Batra's 50th birthday, he died when he was just 25 years old. But on his 50th birthday, he wanted to be there to feel close to him, where he won a battle and won honors for the nation. What made you climb? Vishal, first, welcome on India Today.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. Thank you so much.
What made you climb 0.5140? And it's a very, very high peak there, very difficult to climb.
So Gaurav, to be honest, me and Vikram both would be turning 50 this year. Wow. Right, which is on 9th of September. Though Vikram is going to be 25-year-old only because we lost him when he was 25.
Eternally
I have a lot of grey hair. So I had a dream of visiting both the peaks, the 5140 and the 4875. And 5140 was a dream because I wanted to pay a tribute on the 50th birth anniversary. While we lost him 25 years back, but for me, he personally continues to live on, right? And that's the reason I chose and I requested the Indian Army that I want to do an expedition to 5140 and I want to do on the foot. And fortunately, this year, 18th of July was the day when I actually took a plunge, and thanks to the present Chief General Dwivedi, to whom I had placed a request in the month of November. Thanks to the GOC 8th Mountain Division General Malik, who helped me organizing this. And then, of course, Brigadier Sanjeev Kohli, the Artillery Brigade Commander, through whose, along with his entire brigade, I got this chance to climb this on 18th of July.
On the 19th of June, 1999, both the companies, Bravo and Delta, led the assault for the capture of point 5140. Even though terrain was extremely difficult, the gradient was very, very steep.
As the advance continued into that area of ledge, it was seen that there were several sangars which were heavy, strongly fortified and well defended by the enemy.
After having captured the .5140, which was dominating Dras Valley, Captain Vikram Batra all this while was waiting for such more opportunities. उसका दिल और मांग रहा था. That's why his ये दिल मांगे मोर.
He closed into the bunker through the sangar with his AK-47, continuously fired and was able to kill 5 of the enemy.
With these 4-5 boys, a small team ops, he actually assaulted and had a hand-to-hand combat fight with the enemy.
Now during that charge, he was shot in the chest, and as he fell, he got splinter injuries, and that is when we lost the brave hero.
We had already decided our success signal before advancing for the attack, and it was like Bravo Company's success signal, Wo Aaya, which was passed to our CEO Colonel Joshi on the radio set. And after another bunker was captured, my company's success signal was Ye Dil Mange More. The guys were so highly charged up that they're wanting that some more bunkers should have been there and we would have got the more chaps.
Captain Vikram Batra of the 13th Battalion, the Jammu and Kashmir Rifles. The young officer of the Indian Army personified valor. He personified the will to win against all odds. Here was a man, Sher Shah, feared by the Pakistan Army and loved by his brothers in arms. The situation in Dras was very tense. Pakistani soldiers on Tiger Hill, .4875 and several other features along the Dras highway were systematically targeting army convoys and being on strategic heights, beating back Indian Army's efforts to regain peaks. Victory over Tololing Peak on the night of June 12 and 13, when 120 guns boomed together on one peak, gave the Indian Army its first victory in Kargil. Now, Captain Vikram Batra was tasked to win the next peak, .5140.
Vikram Batra, in any case, as we all know, is an icon by himself, right? And his actions are not limited to one operation. You know, within a period of 20 days, he undertook 2 operations. And in each one of them, the type of courage and valor he exhibited is unparalleled. He is another case. While he has already displayed extreme valor a few days ago, now he takes it upon himself and he says, I will lead the charge.
It was from .5140 that the Pakistani army had brought down one of our Mi-17 helicopters on the 28th of May 1999. Severely restricting future helicopter operations in this area. The task given to Captain Vikram Batra was described as mission impossible. The Pakistan army, the enemy, was well entrenched, well stocked, well fortified. Captain Batra's mission was not only to dislodge the enemy, but also occupy those commanding heights and pave the way for the next assault. Every few minutes, Pakistani soldiers would fire an illuminating round, lighting up the night sky, slowing down the advance of our Jawans. Captain S.S. Jamwal was the first to reach the bunkers and mounted a brave charge, capturing the objective he was tasked to capture. The Pakistani soldiers resorted to some psychological warfare, abusing Captain Vikram Batra using his call sign Sher Shah. He in turn gave them a mouthful, beating them at their own game. Captain Vikram Batra fired multiple rockets into the enemy bunkers and killed 6 Pakistan Army soldiers in the fierce attack. He then charged at the enemy bunkers, all guns blazing. The Pakistani soldiers who had survived abandoned their posts and fled. .5140 was a very important battle that was won, but there still was a war ahead. The battle for .4875. The enemy was very well entrenched and was halting the advance of the charging Indian Army troops.
A long and narrow ledge, as the name suggests, ledge itself, ran north of .4875, and this was held by the enemy in strength with well fortified defences, which comprised of very well built sangars which were echeloned one behind the other. From his defensive positions on ledge, the enemy was able to bring down very heavy and effective fire on our troops who had just captured .4875. Our troops were suffering heavy casualties, and also it was impairing progress of further operations.
Since the enemy was dominating and sitting on these sangars, and you have to clear each and every sangar before you actually go onto the top, Captain Vikram Batra again led from front. With these 4 or 5 boys, a small team ops, he actually assaulted and had a hand-to-hand combat fight with the enemy.
Captain Vikram Batra charged at the enemy bunker along the ledge, firing right through the gap in the sangar or enemy defences. As soon as he got close to the sangar, he hurled a grenade inside, killing 5 Pakistani soldiers instantly. But this was also the time that a hail of enemy bullets caught him in the chest. Ignoring personal safety, he flung another grenade into the enemy bunker. But just as he did so, an enemy grenade also burst near his head, killing him instantly. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had come to Kargil as a BJP Karyakarta when the war was on in 1999. In fact, he'd spent time with the soldiers who were in operations and also with soldiers who were injured in operations. He spoke of it today when he returned to Kargil as Prime Minister of India on the 25th anniversary. Let me now get you some of those glimpses of the Prime Minister's visit to the Kargil War Memorial here at Dras. Prime Minister Modi paid tribute to the Kargil war heroes. He paid homage to soldiers who made the supreme sacrifice of their lives fighting in the Kargil war zone between May and July 1999. As part of the Rajat Jayanti Mahotsav, there was a spectacular flypast at Dras. Not just choppers of the Indian Air Force that charred rose petals, there were also fighter jets of the Indian Air Force that carried out several maneuvers, including a vertical Charlie displaying victory in war. Prime Minister Narendra Modi spent considerable time interacting with families of the Kargil braves who made the supreme sacrifice of their lives. He interacted with families at Dras at the 25th anniversary of the conflict. The Prime Minister also visited the Kargil Hut of Remembrance. The Prime Minister was seen going through some of the images of the Kargil war that showcased how our braves fought and won against all odds. Infrastructure development remains key to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's focus in the Union Territory of Ladakh. He virtually carried out the first blast of the Shinkunla Tunnel project. The tunnel is to be built at an impressive altitude of close to 16,000 feet along the Nimu Padam Darcha road. And this will give all-weather connectivity to Leh and will be a very important strategic road in eastern Ladakh, connecting the Zanskar Valley to the Lahaul-Spiti region of Himachal Pradesh. Well, that is all we have time for on this special broadcast from the Kargil War Memorial at Dras. More than 500 braves made the supreme sacrifice of their lives, restoring the sanctity of the line of control behind me in the Kargil, Dras, Batalik, Turtuk sectors. It's the responsibility of every Indian citizen to ensure that Pakistan's state-sponsored radical Islamist terror and Pakistan's military jihad complex is called out and not permitted to bleed India again and again. And that will be a true tribute to our fallen braves. From camera person Kripal Singh and I, Gaurav Sawant, reporting from Dras, Kargil War Memorial. Many thanks for watching. A quick break. News and updates continue on India Today. Stay with us.